Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling coherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Stygian, Reign of the Old Ones, blind. I have just witnessed the mob gunning someone down in the street, so let's take a look around. There are all kinds of weird relics behind the broken glass of this old shop, which was built in the colonial era. Carved into marble, this is an almost man-sized statue of Pan, the god of mountain wild in the ancient Greek mythology. Most of those figurines are genuine pre-Columbus South American artifacts. Unsurprisingly, there are Christ and Lamb figurines mixed in as well. Behind the broken glass there is a collection of weird relics, including a copper Soviet diving helmet, a tribal totem, a clay figure of a lion, various masks crafted by indigenous people, and an 18th century bust. Animal horns from many different species crowd the walls of this shop, including antlers of elks and the recurved horns of goat, among other hoofed herbivores. An alabaster statuette of Barong, the mother of all spirit wardens in Balinese mythology, an intriguing find for anyone interested in obscure oceanic myths. This specimen of a giant praying mantis was preserved in an intimidating predatory pose. An exquisite handcrafted Agnus Dei miniature, which probably was once possessed by a Puritan settler, so Agnus Dei is the Lamb of God. Although that doesn't much look like a lamb to me. These antique clocks are all marking their own time now, for without the sun, what time should any of us keep? This is one of Pickman's notorious paintings of a human-sized canine thing with goat-like hooves and cold blank eyes, grappling what appears to be a human. Okay, so apparently Pickman is just a well-known artist in this universe, which is interesting because Pickman was a character straight from Lovecraft, but I never got, I don't think he was described as a very famous artist. He drew those sort of eldritch weird creatures, and everyone thought he has just like a very tortured imagination, and the twist of the story was that he was drawing them from life. A late 18th century Italian harpsichord. You are astounded to see this delicate instrument in such an excellent condition. Henry Fuseli's famous painting of a key event in a Norse mythology, the god Thor is depicted nude and triumphant, battering the head of Jormungandr, the Midgard serpent, under the stormy firmament. For a reproduction, it is expertly done. The new modern Englander must have found these antiques furnishings overwhelmingly ornate, but evidently Isidore has more than a few upscale customers who approved of such baroque design. A series of handcrafted wooden masks, presumably you're exhausted. Well, first let me read this. A series of handcrafted wooden masks, presumably of ceremonial value, bearing... no, I guess I won't be able to read that. You're exhausted. Time to give your weary body a break. Secure yourself a refuge and sleep beneath a shroud of subconsciousness. Exhaustion reduces your statistics, making your character weaker. There are stages of exhaustion. You need to rest in order to remove it. You can either rest at the Old Eel, making Marino a wealthier man, or by acquiring camping supplies and resting at a campfire. Keep in mind that camping outdoors has its own hazards and risks, but due to the high demand for relative safety of Marino's attic, you can find rather shabby facilities occupied from time to time. I think I will go back and rest. I'm still pretty close to the inn. A series of handcrafted wooden masks, presumably of ceremonial value, bearing the grotesque visages of beasts and deities from cultures remote and exotic. The books arranged in this cabinet consist largely of volumes on archaeology, including all 12 books of Carl Richard Lepsius's pioneering Egyptological work. Whatever. It's in German. In its original 1849 publication. Immediately behind Isidore's work desk hangs a carefully organized collection of keys, some old and strange, and some new and ordinary. A glass case full of relics, trinkets and knickknacks, just like the rest of the store. A small obsidian statue of Kali, the demon Hindu goddess of death. She is depicted in her battle stance and garnishly and authentically colored. Can I read that? Keys, paths and meanings. A notebook with a key symbol on the cover under the title Keys, Paths and Meanings. An old man is sitting behind a dusty counter, surrounded by a variety of odd objects. He doesn't look pleased to see you. Yes? Are you looking for something in particular? That's a very nice collection of keys you have. Thank you. I have put my life into this collection, though it is unfortunately incomplete. As he quickly reviews the rows of keys, you notice a deep longing in his eyes. Why the interest in keys? I have always been fascinated by them. I started collecting them in my childhood. It was a simple hobby, of course, until the Black Day. What changed after the Black Day? It is not important. Just remember that I will pay handsomely for keys. I will feel better knowing why you want them so badly. Very well. After the Black Day, like many others, I lost all hope. Without a reason to go on, I decided to end it. You know what I mean. But what I desired the most is forbidden to men. For days I fasted and prayed for Hashem's forgiveness, and determined to end this misery of an existence. I passed out from hunger and exhaustion, and then I dreamed of two keys. One was gold and burning, though it was only warm to the touch. The other was silver and bathed in moonlight. What does it mean? Do you think they are real keys? They were the keys to the Temple of Solomon. I felt the light inside me. Oh Hashem, he spoke to me. The old man's eyes widened and lose focus, as if he were in a trance. Now I'm pretty sure I might be wrong on this. Obviously I'm not religious myself, and I haven't studied religion, but I'm pretty sure Hashem is a Jewish term for God, because obviously Jews are, religious Jews are forbidden from speaking the name of God directly. You can't say Jehovah or Yahweh. So they have a bunch of terms that refer to God, but via descriptors. For example, they have the term Adonai, which is like the most mighty or the most precious or something like that. And I think Hashem is one of those terms as well, which would point to this guy, being a Jew. And obviously he speaks of the Temple of Solomon, which is also, pretty much the most, the temple in Jerusalem. is like the most important like place for Judaism as a religion, and there are a lot of prophecies and stuff about it being rebuilt. You understand now. This is the reason I've been collecting keys all my life. They are my escape from this Sheol. They were my test, and they will be my salvation. Yeah, so clearly he is a Jew, because Sheol is, once again, that's like the Jewish equivalent of hell. I don't know the exact meaning of that word, but I will post links in the description in case I will remind myself, and in case you want to read more about it. How can a bunch of keys help you escape? There is hidden power in patterns and numbers. Some of the keys are numbered. This makes them special. The effect of Isidore's dreams fades, and he comes to himself again. I think I have said enough. Interesting. Let's talk about something else. Tell me how may I assist you, or perhaps you can assist me. What is this place? This is Schmidt's Antiques, or what is left of it. I am Isidore Schmidt. Like the merchandise, I have been gathering dust here for a long while. Tell me how may I assist you? May I see your wares? Indeed, that is why I'm here. But tell me first, if you see something you have something you desire, how do you intend to pay for it? Well, what do you have in mind? Keys, I collect them, all shapes and sizes. If you happen to come across any keys in this accursed place, bring them to Schmidt's Antiques. I will gladly trade exquisite items for my collection for keys, or if you don't care about health, I can also pay with cigarettes. If you also accepted cigs, in trade it would allow you to obtain more keys. I have all the cigs I need. Well, but what if someone were to bring a special key worth more than everything you have? Very well, I see your point. I will accept cigs in payment, but only from you. You've made the right choice. So, what do you have? May I see your wares? Yeah, you weren't kidding when you were telling me you're wealthy. Lead shot, face of Rahu. What does that do? Used to hide the wearer's identity. Increased stealth and physical defense. How much for it? Is that the price in cigarettes? 600? Yeah, I won't be able to afford anything. Although, I might be able to afford some books. Abdul's severed hand. Hey, you know what? I will leave you be for now. I'll be back later. But you said I'm tired, right? Mild exhaustion. -2 reaction, but -1 mind as well. Yeah, I think I'll go back and see what the price for resting in the tavern is. Now, I think this game isn't particularly well predisposed towards making a let's play, because time is passing as I'm talking, and as a result, I could have gotten, further away in game if I didn't talk so much during the Let's Play, and my character is getting tired. I want to rest. I see you've enjoyed your time in our special suite, the Royal Attic, but it is occupied right now. I'll take your cigs later. Well, I need a drink, or more specifically, I need rations. You're not selling rations, which is interesting. I thought you would. Okay, so I guess I have to contend with mild exhaustion. I will rest on the streets once I hit like mid-level exhaustion. Could we talk, or are you still heartbroken? You see a typical Arkham resident, tired and decrepit looking. He looks at you uneasily. Here's a cig. He's confused by your gesture, but quickly snacks the cig nonetheless. Thank you, sir. You are kind, not like those bullies. He glances timidly at the bouncers by the bar's front door. Yeah, I wanted to pay him for the stories, because I essentially caused him like a mental breakdown by asking too much about the Black Day. What can you tell me about that bar? The Old Eel was a shady place. Well, you told me that already, actually. How do you survive in Arkham? Between the mob and the cult, you mean? I don't know, because so far someone else got crushed instead of me. Anyway, I doubt my luck will last much longer. Since the Black Day, I've thought every day would be my last. I see. The charred and decrepit palace, which once hosted many events and receptions as the Gentlemen's Club of Arkham, has been rechristened the Blackened Club by the surviving locals and serves as the Waxface's criminal fortress. Okay, I'll visit that place last, because it seems like a place that I could easily get killed in. Nearly all of French Hill's timber houses look deserted, presumably because the inhabitants were lucky enough... Presuming the inhabitants were lucky enough to survive at all. This vehicle is locked. Can I try to... Okay, screws, can of kerosene for the lamp. Can I get inside? Nope. Telephones. Conducting your voice through wires. Weaving webs of falsity. Listen to Satan's laughter now. Giving women stature next to men. Destroying principles of divine morality. Sanctity of men corrupted forever. Okay, so I guess you're just a raving madman. Look where they've taken you. I can't even talk to that guy. Lies. Where is your god now? After the locals salvaged whatever they could find use for, cultists turned this humble place of worship into an altar to their own depravity. Yeah, I would say it would be pretty easy to lose your faith in the just and merciful God after you have been literally ripped from reality into this horror place full of cultists to, like, you know, demons that offered them blood sacrifice. Like, it would be pretty hard to keep believing in God after that. What about that guy who got killed? I guess they cleaned up his corpse. You see a typical Arkham resident, tired and decrepit. She looks at you uneasily. I'd like to ask you something. Leave me alone, sir. Life is hard enough without a bunch of foolish questions. Fair enough. Fair enough. Amidst the undescribable chaos of the Black Day, these sagging gambrel roofs were buffeted by an apocalyptic storm of unparalleled force. This door is tightly locked, but there is a dusty button alongside, adjacent to a rectangular panel similar to a speaker. Ring the bell. What do you want? Who are you? You ring my bell and I'm supposed to tell you who I am? Go away, I have things to do. Yeah, that's pretty fair. You know, when you really stop to think about it, your typical RPG protagonist would be unbearingly annoying as an actual person. The bridge piers are torn apart from the steel railings underneath the road by savage unearthly winds, or perhaps by an earthquake. Magnificent Horatio Flair, a souvenir of brighter times when the uncontagious show of an illusionist could cheer up the now crestfallen denizens of Arkham. The damp walls of this enclosure now serve as a cold and dismal haven for a group of orphaned children. The oxidized grotesqueries are brooding defiantly from above the arch, as if to guard their young, playful guests. A child's imagination perseveres, even in the most terrifying of times. Well, what's up, children? Can we talk? You smell funny. What's your own business, grown-up? Leave. Fair enough. This beautiful mansion somehow remains unscathed and is obviously still occupied, though the relentless Vein Root have begun to assault it most aggressively. A revolting smell attacks your nostrils as you approach the homeless man, as if some small animal had died under his stained clothes. What is it, mister? Do I smell? Then stay a few damn yards away. Who is this man with paint all over his face? Oh, you don't know Coley Willie? I thought everyone knew Coley. You know, he has movies, the theatrical performances. He was a real celebrity, you know. Not Coley Willie, but the fella himself, Sam Rodney. Never found him funny myself. In better days, a friend took me to one of his shows, making all the money scoffing at black folks. The Black Day came for all of us in the end, innit? White, yellow, black, everybody. Oh, so he was... Okay, so the guy has blackface because he was doing, like, minstrel shows? Yeah, that gets a yikes from me. You're right, it is shameful to call discrimination a performance. The hobo looks at you at the hysterical theatrics of the nearby Coley. Well, he can perform as much as he likes now, mister. He's still putting on a show? I don't know if I would call it a show anymore. I have been hanging around him for a while now, and now he never became Sam Rodney again, not even once. I guess he flat out is Coley Willie now. Okay, so he's a little excused because it seems it's less like he's not really mocking black people anymore. His sanity has shattered to the point where he thinks he is the character that he used to play. Who is he performing for? Some mob fellows came to used to come and look at him now and then. Not anymore. Watching the same thing over and over probably got boring, and other folks don't like to go anywhere near him, probably find him creepy. Can't blame them. They don't like to be near me either, so here we are. Coley and he tries to think of something stinky. I need to go. You see a man who has blackened his face and hands with paint. He's performing some kind of pantomime show. He is unaware of your presence. It is not hard to see that beneath his ridiculous posturing something is deeply wrong. The man's weary visage shows that he has been at it for a long time. An exertion of staying in character is wearing him down. Are you alright? Clearly not. He reacts with comic surprise. His startled eyes show nothing but the shallow character he is portraying. Observe the man's behavior. As you watch him continue his bizarre show at the expense of his dwindling physical health, patterns of severe self-punishment are revealed. A deep sense of guilt may have triggered this malady. Well, who are you? He shrugs theatrically and begins another of his vulgar sketches. You're no longer sure whether this is a performance or a sole mode of existence for this bizarre fellow. Well, can I help you somehow? Hello? This is not funny. He shrugs theatrically. Okay, I guess I can't help him now. And this goes to the world map. You see a determined but pallid-looking woman in her 30s. Her outfit hints at a metropolitan sensibility. You sense an air of hypochondria around this mysterious woman. Excuse me, sir. I'd like to ask you something, if I may. Please, madame, I'm listening. I'm looking for my husband. A slender, long-faced gentleman from Boston. His name is Randolph Carter. All I know is that he arrived in Arkham. Do you know of him or his whereabouts? No, but Randolph Carter is another character directly from Lovecraft stories. No, I don't. Thank you, sir. I better continue my search. How did you get separated? I'm sorry, but I'd rather be looking for him. No, but tell me more. Oh well. I guess you won't. Okay, this guy says nothing. I think I'm running out of rations too. Okay, I'm not sure if the mob will let me inside, but I'll try. Beat it, punk. Disappear now. Yeah, I can't enter this. Okay, so I'll be off for now. I'll go in the other direction. To me, the dazed and disappointed. This wretched creature before you can hardly be described as a human. It is wearing odd anachronistic clothes and has wrapped its face and hands in tattered rags. Its cringing, confused movements further verify the statue of this unfortunate outcast. The humanoid creature is talking with itself in an uneasy guttural tone. His voice is like a cold breeze blowing from beyond the grave. Why have the cruel gods chosen me for their ghastly amusement? The moment he sees you, the pitiful creature draws back in horror. Wait, I mean no harm. You see the creature observing you with its yellow, ghoulish eyes, barely visible behind the filthy rags. The outlandish being starts talking in a ragged but strangely educated tone. Harm is the only thing your kind has brought to me. To think I have once foolishly believed us to be kin. Leave me alone. The creature scurries quickly away from you. The barren, the broken. Well, maybe we'll meet again. Who knows? Honest Bill's shop. Pawnshop, rather. Honest Bill's claims to offer the best deals, but has become... Honest Bill's claim to offer the best deals has become indisputable since it's now the only pawn shop in town. It's probably worth your while to take a look. Yeah, I will. I need some rations. I'm not sure if they would sell rations at the pawn shop. Probably not, because they are perishables. The Wurlitzer jukebox in its prime condition can play 24 popular songs, including Sweet Georgia Brown, the Sheikh of Araby, and Stardust, among others, if only Arkham still had electrical power. This section is reserved for various garments and outdoor equipment. It is the most popular department after the weapons and foodstuffs. Oh, so you do sell food, actually. Bring the bullets, take away the rations. A few basic melee weapons and handheld household tools cover this wall. Clemens must have made a good profit selling shovels in particular, since so many of Arkham residents bought a one-way ticket to Hangman's Hill. With no radio stations left broadcasting in the vicinity, these Neurodyne radio receivers have no other function other than decoration. The cost of kerosene has increased dramatically since the pitch-black ether swallowed the sun. This shelf has been the subject of many of your daydreams during your incarceration in Arkham. Waxface's food stores keep starvation at bay for the populace. They must be grateful for this altruism. The cigarette stock on display here is limited to lesser-known brands. Perhaps Clemens keeps his packs of Tom Rogers and Zest somewhere more secure. These kerosene lanterns aren't the most efficient means of illumination, but the town's dismal atmosphere has made them a staple of daily life. Older out-of-production rifles populate these shelves. By looking at it, most of them would need extensive maintenance before they can be used. These primitive incendiary grenades are especially effective against ghouls which stalk their prey in the darkened corners of Arkham. Let the sparks fly. The magazine rack is filled exclusively with raunchy and explicitly sexual content. The hodgepodge of fingerprints on the covers indicates that most customers browse through the pages at least once in order to satisfy their carnal urges. Although cigs, booze and drugs are the most sought after items in Arkham Desperate Survivors, certain personal affects are still in demand by those who can afford them. The man smiles silently. Behind the bars is a stern-looking man who looks deeply dissatisfied. Although he looks to be in his 60s, his presence invokes respect and fear. Say, are you here to buy something or just wasting my time? Oh, I totally didn't... Before I talk to you, let's inspect that. Unsolved mystery. It says it's a corpse, so it's not even... When you first look at a what you first took for a statue is actually the petrified corpse of Bill, who was frozen forever in the exact moment of his agonizing death. The rapidly drying beeswax became his burial shroud. Yeah, what's up with the statue? Ah, you mean Honest Bill? He's dead, but they kept him around for decoration, turned him into a statue. He used to own this place, you see, until he crossed Waxface. Can you guess how they did it? Poured boiling wax over him from head to toe. You should have heard the screams. That's enough, or do you want more details? Well, tell me about Waxface. He is, he says it unwillingly, the boss. Not around much these days though. He put me in charge of the pawnshop, so here I am. What a dead end. And let me give you some advice. Do not ask about Waxface if you want to live. Now, you buying, or should I ask Charlie to make you leave? Is Charlie the smiling blonde fellow? Charlie is the smiling blonde fellow who can fill you with more lead than you would need to build a fucking boat. Another thing. Get lost, you ain't no buyer. You're just a fucking time waster. Who are you? Name's Joe Clements, that's Mr. Clements to you. I am someone you shouldn't be curious about, former jeweler for the Cortellinis, current fucking grocer of Arkham. Cortellinis? You live in a cave or something? The ruling family of Chicago, the barons of the underworld. You came here from Chicago? Such brilliance. How did you make the connection? Say, are you here to buy something? Or are you just wasting my time? How about a discount? How about I smack you in the face? How about a smack in the face from my friend Charlie here? I can bring you a lot of quality goods. I go to places that no one else does, which is funny to say because I've been nowhere so far, but, you know, that's what Speechcraft does for you. Then you sure must be hanging near the R's of this rotten town, and I don't like it when people stink. But maybe you'll be of some use to me later. There's a place you can visit for me and earn your discount. I'll let you know. Until then, you're just another punk. Alright. What do you have? Do you have rations? Camping supplies, cigars. Can be read by humanistic characters while resting to gain more sanity. Okay, it's pretty cheap. Little Women, penned under the influence of the transcendentalist writers such as Thoreau and Emerson, Alcott's semi-autobiographical account of his earlier years, well, remarkably imparted in Little Women. I don't know that book, but I take it... those are all real people, so I take it this is actually a real book. It's pretty cheap. But mostly I just wanted the rations. Do you sell ration? You actually don't. Okay, I'll buy this for now. I'm kind of worried about my food supply, but Bank of Arkham. As with every other structure, the oldest surviving buildings in town are now subject to the slow decay enveloping Arkham. Spine-chilling murmurs sound from within. Arkham couldn't possibly be farther away from the ideals that Lady Liberty once represented for the average American citizen. Help yourself, get in there and die. You see a burly mob member watching the entrance of the ruined bank. Spit it out. What are you guarding? This place looks destroyed. I'm not guarding the bank, you mutt. I'm guarding the streets from the raving lunatics inside. You better run along now. Can I ask you some questions? Do I look like a fucking information desk? Get lost before I sock you one. I'd like to get inside. Help yourself. If you get killed, try to not make a mess. Yeah, I will try. My reasoning is that they wouldn't probably put the sort of hardest locations right close to the beginning of the game. So maybe I can accomplish something while I'm there. Now how do I make sure that I have a gun in hand? Okay, I guess it is going to use it in combat, hopefully. These cracks spread ominously in every direction, like veins reaching out from a malignant tumor. A wad of dollars, junk. This vehicle is locked. And how much until I level up? Just 100. Okay. You know what? I'll take the side entrance first. Bank Manager's Note 1. No, I didn't want to drop it. Okay, you know what? I will enable the setting that shows documents as text because it's going to be pretty tough for me to read the handwriting. Notes written by a shaky hand of an old bank manager detailing his interactions with a mysterious stranger. I've never been a man who puts any stock in superstition, yet my experience today has shaken my once strict convictions. I had an unannounced visitor. He was a tall man dressed in a finely cut suit and topcoat, all of impenetrable black, and his face, well, peculiar as it may sound, I do not remember a damn thing about it, not his age, not the look in his eyes, or the color of his hair. when I try to recall those details, my mind goes completely blank. So, is he talking about the Dismal Man? That I'm pursuing? Certainly worth looking into. The windows are shattered, just like the sanity of the bank's new residents. There's someone laughing maniacally in the background, which is always a good sound, always a good sign in those kinds of stories. I'll try my luck with them, and maybe I can survive. These partitions were originally placed to discourage customers from entering sensitive areas. Now their only function is to provide cover in a gunfight. The shiny bits of crystal from this ruined chandelier glitter like stars against the filthy floor. Well, apparently they are not totally insane, because I can still talk to them. A strangely presentable man in a sharp suit waits eagerly at one of the destroyed cash counters. The moment he sees you, he begins to speak rapidly and enthusiastically. Hello, sir. How may I assist you? As you can see, this has been a very busy day. It looks like the boom has finally come to Arkham. It's nice to see our little town thriving, don't you think? Well, I wouldn't say it's thriving. Oh, don't you agree? But we are all free to express our opinions, right? That's what makes this country so... His voice cuts off abruptly and he freezes in place. He doesn't even blink. He looks almost like a living statue. Excuse me, sir? Some men are endowed by their creator with certain alienable rights. Well, actually, it's supposed to be inalienable. When you make it alienable, you're reversing the meaning. It means you can take them away. Let me help you with a transaction, sir. May I have your credentials? Sure, let's play along with this for a bit. Does this suffice? Show your Miskatonic diploma. He instantly grabs... Well, okay, that's kind of false advertising. It specifically said show, not give it to him. Grabs the object from your hand. Let me see, it says you're a clueless vessel of the notion that demands virtue. Here are your documents, sir. I hope they will aid you in the game of misery, piss and shit. Well, thank you very much. Struggle begins. Is that how combat works in this game? Combat basics. Combat in Stygian consists of turns. Each turn your character and the enemies move and act on their own rounds to the extent that their action points allow. Each action requires a certain amount of action points to commit. From the upper left corner, you can monitor health and sanity levels, switch between the equipped weapons of your character. You can also reload an equipped firearm by simply clicking on the weapon's icon. If you wish to use quick items, perform a combat ability or cast a spell, simply right-click on the active character and choose the related icon. Yeah, I somehow don't think I'm going to have a chance. There's like 5 of them, but I need to let the dog out, so I'll be right back. And in case someone asks who let the dogs out, it's going to be me in this particular case. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. So... Certain hexes on the battlefield can have special functions, such as providing opportunity to take cover or enabling you to flee. Right-click on the object that might provide cover while standing near to it to view the Take Cover button. Press the Escape button to flee from battle. You can end your character's round by either clicking on the Defend or Focus button. Defend enables you to utilize the remaining action points to increase the physical defense of the active character. Focus allows you to utilize the remaining action points to grant a bonus to your next character attack roll. The bonuses get higher in accordance with the number of action points allocated to these procedures. A low hit probability. So I can't even hit people at point blank because I'm just such a shit of a shot. That's not how I normally hit. I wanted you to take cover here. Are you insane? It's literally facing the wrong way. I'll try shooting them. And I guess I'll defend. But I think I'm dead. Like, I have to be dead. The order of initiative gets determined anew by the reaction score of the combatants. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I must be dead, right? But how come I had a better chance of hitting last time than now? Like, I guess I just have a better chance if I'm behind cover. Although it still says low here, so I don't really understand it. Looting corpses in combat. No, I'm not interested in that. I'm trying hard enough to live. Yeah, I don't think this is doable unless I get some very good rolls. Because they don't really hit that hard. I guess I spoke too soon. Can I? How many? 4 action points. How many do I have? Can I shoot twice? No, because I don't have enough action points. I should have equipped a melee weapon. I think I'll try this again, but I'll rest first to eliminate the maluses to my combat skills, and then I'll equip a melee weapon as a second weapon, because I'm going to be out of ammo soon, and you know. You have perished. Your days in the doomed town have come to an end. Your corpse will nourish the pigman ghouls in a dark corner of Arkham. Yeah, I'll reload the... I'll try this again, but I just have to prepare a little better. I do think this is doable, even with my character who isn't particularly well suited to combat. But I'll rest because it actually gives me it penalizes my stats because I'm tired. Occupied right now. Okay, but there's a fireplace on the other map that I can use to sleep. Resting serves a couple of needs. Firstly, it helps you replenish lost health and removes the exhaustion state. Secondly, you can decide what your characters do in their spare time. Each rest activity is directly associated with a skill that is known by the characters and requires a certain amount of rest points. Scientific research unlocks new blueprints. I don't have companions. Unlocks new formulas. There are three types of research: scientific, medical, and occult. With scientific, you can discover blueprints which enable you to craft scientific gadgets. With medical, you can discover formulas which enable you to craft drugs and concoctions. With occult, you can learn new spells and discover powers and maledictions of artifacts. Okay, I don't have anything else to do because I'm not wounded yet. I guess I'll just rest. Though you're not exactly acquainted with your immediate surroundings here in this desolate urban setting, you don't feel like a stranger either. Is this Arkham? Perhaps a forgotten corner which you have never seen. This is literally H.P. Lovecraft. Amidst the Cimmerian stillness, there stands a forlorn figure, barely present but inescapably real. He seems to be walking towards a certain house along the street before stopping to look at you. Who are you? I? Looks at you with attentively unblinking eyes. I'm a dreamer, a wanderer perhaps, just as you are. The timbre of his voice consists of sublime overtones. Why would you be here if you weren't? Is this a dream? In all likelihood, yes. But what if it's actually a nightmare instead? Glances away in a dismal gravity. But the real question revolves around you, doesn't it? Perhaps you've been compelled to seek out a memory which isn't yours at all. His eyes darken. You emanate a tragic aura, a source of which is most dire. What do you seek? A brief pause and definite answer cuts right through the tension of the Stygian abstractness. Inspiration. Know this, wanderer, there will be a price to pay when you have no other option but to cling to visions brim with unutterable horrors in order to procure your only means of subsistence, however maddening they may be. That sounds poetic. Are you an artist, perhaps? A writer? I won't grant an answer that easily. Knowledge of someone is a powerful thing, and this premise applies even in dreams, but I'll offer you a chance, since you've intruded my fantasy. I'll tell you of my journeys, and you will tell me who I am. Refraining from the pageantry of the mundane, a boy shall wander into the path of prophecy. Nebulous in truth of all things future and past, dwelling beyond the serpent's lair, for none but him to see. Only the forbidden shall he thereafter seek, lurking in labyrinths of forgotten and forlorn. Plagued will be those whom he shall touch, hailed by oblivion, which they will have forborne. Carried away to his fantasy on wings ethereal, a toilsome quest he shall embark upon so sedulously. Resplendence of his dreams, however, is not to remain. Thus the search for the silver key must begin duly. Exalted he will be in the deathless continuum, wild and free, resigning from the world to embrace all that was and will ever be. Answer me this then, wanderer. Who am I? Well, I don't know. You might literally be H.P. Lovecraft. You certainly have his face. I have no answer. His face assumes an unfavorable expression. To walk the dreamlands, you should be able to read the signs that lay beyond what is suggested to you. It seems that you're not endowed with such a capability. The apparition, bleaker than the fathomless, unearth gulfs of spatial remoteness, descends fiendishly upon you. I think my will is better. Try to fight the night terror. You're too feeble, and the bleakest of terrors ravenously consume you. But soon, the terror, having satiated itself, recedes as insidiously as it encroached. The stranger has the look of pity on his face. You don't have the will of a true wanderer, but since you've come this far, you'll hear my name. My name is Randolph Carter. Diverts his gaze to the dolesome skies. Now if you'll excuse me, I must cover a long way to eternity. Randolph Carter, I guess I met your wife. She's looking all over for you. No health or sanity recovered. Made a discovery formula. Powdered cocaine. Okay, you have visited strange places in your dream. Yeah, I have impaired sanity from this. Oh, and apparently impaired health as well, which, to be honest, is not great. That's kind of the opposite of what I wanted to happen when I went to rest. But I guess, you know, if you're in a quote-unquote Lovecraftian game, sleeping has its own perils. But I will give the combat a couple more tries. I think it's certainly doable with lucky enough rolls, and I'm one of those people, I like to go sort of to clear out locations in order so that I don't have to remember to go back. Like, I understand many games are not really structured in that way. In fact, they are deliberately structured the opposite way, where you're intended to go back when you get stronger, but it's just a personal preference of mine. I'll give it a couple more tries, as I said. I think it is doable, and I would feel better if I managed to just do it and sort of mark this location as cleared. You're hungry, and this is not good. Your character is weaker. A human character automatically consumes a ration. The only edible food left in Arkham is canned food. All the canned food that you acquire is transformed into rations. Okay, that's good to know, because I totally didn't know that. If I knew that, I would have bought a bunch of cans. What's the punishment for being hungry? Not great. Yeah, this is pretty annoying. I guess I have to go back and eat something. But at least I know the guy. Maybe even the guy at the pawnshop right here has canned food. So that particular journey, at the very least, won't be very long. Or maybe you don't have any canned food, in which case I do need 22 ammunition. Do you sell it? You do. It's actually pretty cheap. You know what? Oh, no, it's 4 per 1 bullet. Okay, scratch that, to be honest. But it means I need to go back to the bar if I want to buy some food. Okay, so I'm no longer hungry, right? Yeah. But why is my health getting lower? Is it because of starvation? I'll try healing myself before the combat. Yeah, I'd rather not get addicted to drugs. I was hoping about creating some kind of a healing item. I don't think I can heal myself sort of in the action. So I guess I have to try doing this with my current amount of hit points, which isn't great, but I'll give it a couple of tries. However, this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!